Folks, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? GM. What's the word? GM J H Schultz, Fox Day, 32 fantasy points. GM Julian, GM Trey, Badge Brothers. It's just one Badge Brother. It's just Badge Brother today. It's your boy. It's your bro, Nez. John is still MIA. John is out smelling every rose there is to smell in San Diego. So we will be just me today. Just me. So you guys are in for a treat. You guys are in for an absolute treat. Shout out to LOL Hot Dogs. LOL Hot Dogs. Probably one of the more impressive feats we've seen on the app, taken down first and second in the dog bowl, man. Just unbelievable stuff. Good for a humble 300k. Wow. And I think the craziest thing about what he did was, I mean, he had two overlapping players, had to have some overlap, but it wasn't like a complete dupe, like he still drafted 4 unique players on each lineup. Congrats to everybody that qualified and made it and came away with money, even more so. Awesome stuff. Glad for those that got to experience the dog bowl for the first time, got to experience it. I hope everybody here that wishes to experience it gets to one day. We'll have a meetup one day. It'll definitely happen, but dog bowl itself is a very special, very, very special time. Today, though, I'm not talking about the Steelers trading and signing DK Metcalf. We're not talking about Pittsburgh making big boy moves, big boss moves in Pittsburgh. We're not talking about that. We are talking about NBA. And I tell you what, man, NBA has been pretty good for some. These last 2 weeks, not so good for others. These last 2 weeks. Yeah, see, Tuna saying Rodgers next. This is why we're not talking about that today. We're not talking about these Steelers today because they took one step forward and are about to take one giant leap backwards. Don't want to hear it. I just wish they would sign Fields, but I'm curious to see if Fields gets more money than Aaron Rodgers. It seems like he might. I don't know why you would sign Rodgers for more money than Fields, considering everybody likes Fields in the clubhouse, in the locker room. Baseball season coming up. I don't know. We're looking past that because we have a massive slate to talk about today. Thankfully, because it's so massive, I don't have to talk about necessarily every player that is available to be drafted today, but we do have a lot to talk about. And shout out to the platform formerly known as Twitter, the Everything App X, for being down. Hopefully, it's good riddance. That would be that'd be good for everybody. That would be good for society. Let's pull up ADP for a moment. Ooh, lost me for a minute. Let's just take a look at what is going on in the ADP landscape. Let me do one of these. There you go. It's better. A little better. All right. We're going to take a scroll and take a look at what ADP looks like. Very strong up top. Dare I say 50% chance of top 10 money, top 1% money, top 0.1% money, 50% of that or log out potentially. It is going to, strongly depend on how this Celtics news breaks. I mean, at any rate, I don't see. I don't know. Will Tatum play or not? Who knows? If he does play, can he possibly match the ceiling of these three? Against Utah, he might. He might, but they're 17-point favorites. Spoiler alert. This is just really strong. Basically, gonna do a Jewish McCaffrey overview. He highlighted in his Twitter threads, as he always does, letting everybody know the best plays, because why wouldn't he just tell everybody what the best plays are? John Morant, ADP 20, just looks very much out of place here. Jaylen Brown, potentially way out of place if Tatum doesn't play. We don't have Porzingis today, so Jaylen Brown might just be the play no matter what. Josh Hart seems fairly priced. I don't think that he should be going ahead of John Morant, but Josh Hart without Brunson looks good. J-Dub, if Chet does not play, they are on a back-to-back. J-Dub would look fantastic here at this price. Tyler Hero looks good at this price. Q-Tag on Hallie, worth the risk. Maxey just got ruled out, so let me just take him out of my own ranks. Those are the big players on today's slate. Flandy says, "Why do I feel like Jokic isn't playing tonight?" I don't know. I would think about that. I would think about that because I don't think I would fade. I don't think I would fade Joker, brother. Me personally, I would not be fading. I would not be fading Joker. Yeah, Eggers saying Grizz rolling in, and no John Morant on the injury report. Sorry, I kind of scary the way I laid that one out there. And Desmond Bane also off of the injury report. So yeah, Bane 101 says Nick. Bane is superhuman without Jaren Jackson Jr. in the lineup. He's superhuman. Might just need to embrace the fact that he is God and he's built like one. He's got the biceps of one. Yeah, I really botched that. I'm the king of deliveries here. All right, let's start off with Sixers and Hawks. 11 and a half. I like using the unabated line. 12. Basically 12-point favorites here are the Atlanta Hawks. 236 total, so really nice total. And pretty big favorites. Major implied total here for the Hawks. Given this, no Maxey for the Sixers. Karis LeVert, also a Q tag. Let's see if I'm forgetting anything here. Drummond a Q tag. I don't have anybody ranked for the Sixers right now, but I'm going to throw Quentin Grimes in the player pool for myself, even though he only played 27 minutes, and he's probably not going to play more than 30 tonight. I just want to keep him on the back of the mind, and I want to take a look at his projections once they come out. Paul George not playing. The Sixers are finally took them long enough, finally committing to the tank. Hopefully we never have to see them on Natty TV ever again. For the Hawks in this game here, Trae Young in my player pool. I have Trae Young ranked very high compared to his ADP of 13 and a half. And he was at shoot around today. Saw that on the Unabated Discord. Didn't see that on X because that platform might have died a very tragic death. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Onyeka, I think Onyeka's ADP is a little high, a little frothy for my taste, but I have him in my top 36, and then Dyson in my top 36 as well. We could talk about Dyson Daniels since Sean's not here. Like I mentioned, LeVert with a Q tag. Nobody else that I care about from Atlanta. And I got to think about Onyeka, man. He's, do I think that he's going to get 6 stocks today? Probably not. Do I think that there's a chance he plays less than 30 today? I feel kind of like he will play less than 30 today. But the Sixers are just not a good team, and Onyeka has a ceiling, man. So I don't want to be left without Okongwu today. I don't feel like he's a good fade. In general, if he falls, I like him. I'm going to be under the field on Okongwu. I'm not full fading, but I am going to be pretty under the field today on Onyeka. Dyson Daniels, has been a minute since we've seen him hit 40, but we do see pretty consistent output. And Levert not playing wouldn't do like a ton for Dyson, but I think it would do enough that you can reasonably expect, a better possibility of a ceiling game with Levert not playing, considering Levert has played so much. And since the emergence of Levert, we haven't seen a Dyson ceiling. So I think there is some correlation there to Levert possibly sitting and Dyson Daniels potentially having a huge ceiling game that we've seen him have before. And he's available in the last pick of almost every draft. So Dyson Daniels sub 100% drafted. That's definitely worth getting to. All right, we're going to keep things moving since we have a million games to review today. Let's take a look at the chat before I continue here. Ghost saying he's been taking Hallie, skeptical he plays, front half of back-to-back tomorrow at home. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Joker doesn't want to win MVP. Yeah, he doesn't care. GM Lava Lord. I think Joker might want to win MVP, by the way. Sixers big suck. Team can't rebound. Love them today. All right. Really feel like half the starters for the Celtics will sit. Well, we do have 2/3 of them sitting, so could very well be more than half. GM Pat Moore, thanks for hanging out, brother. Next game here, Wiz Raptors. The Raptors are 7-point favorites at home against the Wizards, 231.5 total here. I think, myself included, everybody is very much worried about these Raptors. And will they play their guys to the fullest extent? And I think it's pretty obvious they won't. But against the Wizards, man, anybody can hit a ceiling in 30 minutes against the Wizards. And we also have some pretty strong pick'ems on the Raptors today as well. Let's just look real quick, just because I didn't get a chance to do it for the last game. And I do like to take a look at the pick'em lobbies for these guys. In this game here, Trae Young, we can look at fantasy points since it's up 42.5 PRA. They've got him for 48 fantasy points today. That's like player 6, player 5. Steph Castle, questionable, getting that right now. Jeremy Sohan, doubtful. Okay, for the Sixers, Grimes 26.5, Oubre 21.5. We don't care about the Sixers, man. They are. I'm just glad that they're telling us. I mean, they're supposed to, but yeah, they just straight up told us today, which is nice. Raptors, Wizards. Let's look at these pick'ems. 30.5 PRA, 33.5 PRA for Poole and RJ respectively here. 36.5 fantasy points in the pick'em lobby for Jordan Poole. That's Keyshawn George. Come on, Nez. Where's RJ? There he is. RJ with close to 40 PRA or 40 fantasy points, 33.5 PRA. 38 fantasy point projection. Not bad. Let's look at our guy Scotty. There he is. Scotty in the pick'em lobby. Good Lord. 44 fantasy point projection for Scotty Barnes. That's pretty strong. That is pretty strong. If you go over and look at the ADP for that, Scotty Barnes 44. I mean, today is loaded, but I think that's going to look better. I mean, I'd be surprised if Bam is at 44 or Giddey's at 44. So, just something to consider. Something to consider at the very, very least here. For the Wizards, I have Jordan Poole ranked. Cole Bali was in my full court press. ranks. That's why you see Koulibaly queued up here. Jordan Poole, 6th-round consideration for me. Played 31 minutes against the Raptors last time out. The Wizards are tanking, but Jordan Poole is how much of the Wizards' future is Jordan Poole a part of? I think you're going to see 30 plus minutes of Jordan Poole again, and he had a nice game last time out. I don't think Jordan Poole necessarily will accumulate 4 stocks again, but we've seen Jordan Poole have ceilings. I mean, he literally just had one. So I like Jordan Poole here. I like him in the 6th round. His ADP 33.8, very palatable, very palatable. Raptors side of things, I think Scotty is ADP 16 because people are worried about the tanking. The tanking Raptors here. That's almost certainly why we're seeing what we're seeing here. And last time out, I don't remember exactly what took place. But I need to look at the Raptors game log and see if they won that last game here. Damn, my computer's laggy. Let me know if this is like looking piss poor for you guys. I'll make some adjustments. Where do these Giddey's numbers come from lately? They came from Nikola Vucevic sitting. Vuce out equals Giddey going nuts. And Vuce is back today. To what capacity, we are not entirely sure. But Vuce is back. Vuce is back. So I think you got to really temper the expectations for our guy, not my guy, John's guy, Josh Giddey. Nick saying it's Giddey's team anyway. For sure. Giddey has the best ceiling on the team, but I think you almost certainly need to, like, you can't. I think it's very reasonable to expect less. Very reasonable to expect less out of Giddey now that Vuce is returning. Last time, and this was just their last game, Raptors played the Wizards. They lost by 1 point. They almost completed. Yeah, that's right. They almost completed the victory at the buzzer. Not yet, Tuna. I will not be here if I had my baby. Last round, Miles Turner knowing Vuce is back. That's smart. Yeah, man. I'm a little worried about these Raptors too. I think honestly, like, is Scotty Barnes lowers the move. I mean, only playing 27 minutes against the Raptors, not long after the funny business. I'm scared of Scotty as well. I cannot be faulting people for being scared of Scotty. RJ 27 quickly didn't play. It's hard not to be scared. I'm gonna be pretty light. You're gonna be pretty light on these Raptors. All right, let me grab a swig. Let me grab a swig of water. All right, we're only on game 3, and we do have to talk about this one. Jazz Celtics. Let's get right to the Jazz here. Walker Kessler is in my line of sight in the 6th round. He is not necessarily somebody that I am thinking about taking in the 6th round. 26.5 PRA for Kessler. Looks fine. 34 fantasy points is like, okay. I don't think we're going to see out of Walker Kessler necessarily what we saw last game, which is 18, 25, and 8. 18, 25, and 8 blocks. Walker Kessler against the Raptors. Massive grown man shit out of Walker Kessler. Just hats off to him for that performance. I don't think I'm going to be drafting Walker Kessler here against the Celtics. But It's not like the Celtics bigs are anything to write home about either, right? Like, who are we talking about from the Celtics here? Well, Kristaps is doubtful. Horford's got the Q tag. If Horford plays, which I would be shocked if Horford played, you know, he'd hold it down. But we are talking about, like, you know, Luke Cornett here. These bigs for the Celtics are not anything special, but Celtics are 17-point favorites, dude. I don't know. I don't think I need to sell too many people on not liking Walker Kessler today. Shout out Kyle Filipowski, Duke University. This is just an old hoodie, guys. I'm not like one of those grown men that rep Duke and never went to Duke. Shout out Nick though. But yeah, Duke Blue Devil, Kyle Filipowski. It's Colin Sexton day though, guys. Colin Sexton off the injury report. I'm not drafting Colin Sexton, but I wonder if they're going to let him just go off or attempt to go off. You got to wonder. This one's you got to watch out for, this game in general. A ton of Q tags for the Jazz. I'm not really talking about them because I'm not getting to any Jazz pieces today. But we could definitely see the Celtics, some funny business with Jason Tatum. So I am taking Karl Anthony Towns over Jason Tatum for the time being. Hard not to, considering that we have the Q tag on Tatum. I think you could sit, and what's the ceiling compared to other guys in that range who are not looking like they could absolutely destroy their opposing team? You know, I've seen Tatum fall to 6, 7, 8, 9. So, yeah, man. This is a good point by Justin in the chat, talking about Scotty Barnes. Just going back to that point. Wow, Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. Whoa. Scotty did have the Q tag last game, but I'm still worried. I'm still super, super worried. Pat saw Luka fall all the way, or Tatum fall all the way to Luka earlier. Yep. So that tells you, man, people are fading Tatum. And I just think if you are fading Tatum, you got to give Jaylen Brown major, major love. In my opinion, I would want to have 25% Jaylen Brown if I'm drafting with the mindset that Tatum isn't playing. Because if Tatum gets that ruled out notification well before lock, Tatum for the rest of drafts is back end of first round. So just be aware of that. Jay asking, what if it's another White and Pritchard night? Could it be? Hopefully Drew Holiday plays and can sort of kind of cool down these guys. Man, if it's another Derek White and Peyton Pritchard night, then I'm just going to be broke. So that's what if it is that kind of night. Let's just take a look at what the Celtics look like today against the Jazz, specifically Tatum and Brown. Tatum 43.5 PRA with a 51 fantasy point projection, 51.45 to be exact. Jaylen Brown 40.75 fantasy point. He will get a significant bump if Tatum doesn't play. We know this. So I think it's important to keep that in mind. Okay, we are officially 1/4 of the way through. 1/4 of the way through. Oof, don't get ahead of yourself. Got an interesting one here, a tricky one. Hornets and Heat. Battle of the H's. 216.5 total. 9-point spread favored toward Miami. We're drafting Bam Adebayo and we're drafting Tyler Hero today. Now, what do we think about the Miami prices? Because Bam Adebayo playing good basketball, folks. Playing really good basketball here. 50, 60, 51, 44. The 60 ball without Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero and Bam both playing some really solid basketball. The spread between these two should not be this large. And does Bam need to be at pick 9? Well, you know, if you look compared to everybody else based on the Underdog Pick'em lobbies, Bam 41. It's a three point difference. It's not, you know, it's not massive. We don't need to be making gigantic stands based on this, but you know, it's how much confidence do you have in Bam at that pick? I personally do have confidence in Bam at that pick, despite what these fantasy point pick'ems are telling us. I have confidence in Bam at pick 9. I feel like there's a very, based on what we've seen lately from Bam and this Miami Heat team, they are kind of playing for a playing game. I mean, the East playing teams are a joke, but this team is playing decent basketball right now. Opposing teams are having decent games against Charlotte, fantasy point wise. So I think you can ignore the fact that Bam looks like a bad pick here and continue to take Bam. And then Hero ADP 21 just looks like a smash. Looks like a smash. I'd be, and I have been taking Hero just slightly above ADP because there's so many good picks on the board. I mean, how often does player 20 in ADP have a fantasy point projection of 40? It just does not happen that much. The Hornets. Miles Bridges, LaMelo Ball, Mark Williams. Mark Williams is in my player pool for the layup or the full court press for the full court press. Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball. I mean, what do we do? What do we do? Miles Bridges has been balling. Melo really hasn't. Melo falls to 20 like a lot. Miles Bridges, I don't see Miles Bridges fall quite a bit. I don't see Miles Bridges fall at all. And I'm tired of losing because of Miles Bridges' terrible ADP beating me because people at ADP are getting him. And it just so happens that he's always lining up at the 101. He's lining up at the 101 almost every day. And he's crushing. He's kicking my ass. And I'm fucking sick of it, man. Do I think Mark will affect him? I can't. This is part of why I have like zero mojo right now. I am executing a proper Miles Bridges fade every single slate, and he's fucking my day up. And he's fucking my day up. There's just I just don't think it matters that Mark Williams plays. It didn't matter before, and it doesn't matter the matchup. Brooklyn, slow pace. No Melo, fuck you. The Cavs, it's a tough matchup. They might get blown out. 63 points, fuck your face. Golden State Warriors, man, the Golden State Warriors are tough, man. LaMelo's playing that game. Can you draft Miles Bridges? 53 points, shove it up your ass. I mean, I think you just have to capitulate. Like, I don't know. I can't, like, how many times can I continue to think that Miles Bridges is not a good play and lose? Like, I don't know, man. Am I going to be under the field on Miles Bridges today? Hell yeah. I'm going to be under the field on Miles Bridges. Am I going to have zero? No. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of losing to this fucking guy. Diaper donation. Thank you, JMC. Any thoughts on how to handle 25% maxi swaps? I'll have an idea when we get closer to lock. Nikola Jokic, Q tag with the elbow. Jamal Murray, Q tag. I don't see what it's about. Bradley Beal out. Aaron Gordon out. Is that it? Yeah, it appears so. Chet Holmgren, available to play. That's spicy. That is spicy. All right. I was not expecting Chet Holmgren to be available to play. Michael Porter Jr. does look good, but if Jokic doesn't play, do you want any part of the Nuggets? Probably not. Probably not. Chet is crazy. Ben, I already talked about everything that you commented. Dude, rewind, and you'll see my positive thoughts on DK Metcalf and the Wowza reaction to Darnold. Russ revenge game against OKC. Oh man. All right, well there you go. JMC, what do you do with your Maxi? You swap to Russ. Kelly Oubre out. Man, we're just gonna have to like chill and let this news continue to filter in. That would be so cool if the Sixers came out and were like, you know what, Quentin Grimes, we gave him a minutes restriction yesterday because we knew he was going to play 40 minutes today. Give me 40 minutes of Quentin Grimes today. Pat saying, I guess I'm playing Grimes. I don't think you should. I don't think you should. We have to know that he's not going to be on a minutes restriction. If he's only playing, we can't be drafting 27. And I'm not like picking on you. I'm kind of talking to myself here because I want to play Grimes as well, but we need to know. I can't be drafting 27 minutes of Quentin Grimes on a 12-game slate. Okay. Yeah, we saw this. We saw this. This is the late time news. I'm gonna hide this news feed for now, and we continue on. This Hornets Heat game is scary. I think you may want to use your plums on this one rather than the pick'em markets or whatever you use to help make your decisions. I think we need to know a little ball on this one, or no ball and execute a fade. I don't know, man. I don't know. Lakers Nets here. This was the 2003 NBA Finals. No, that was Spurs and Nets. Is that 2002 NBA Finals? 2002 NBA Finals. Lakers Nets. 6.5 point favorites are the Lakers against the vying for a play-in game Brooklyn Nets. Yes, yeah. Darius Slay is a Steeler. Everybody rise up. Let's go. We love it. I think. Is Darius Slay still that guy? Who's to say? Basketball. Lakers. King James hobbled. Hurt his groin. Rui out. DFS. Dorian Finney-Smith out. Jackson Hayes out. So it is Luka Doncic with the Q tag, and I feel pretty strongly that he plays. And Austin motherfucking Reeves. And you know it's Austin Reeves Day because we can't even get pick'ems on Austin Reeves. There's nothing, absolutely nothing on Austin Reeves on underdog.com/pick-m. We have nothing, but we do have some other markets that have Austin Reeves. Well, we did, but they're all down now. I'm seeing 33, 31.5 PRA for Austin Reeves. I don't care what the number is. I watch the NBA, and I know that Austin Reeves is a good play today. So give me some Austin Reeves at that ADP. It's that simple. Luka, now that Jokic has the Q tag, you're going to see Jokic go 2. You might see Jokic go 3. The line moved 2 points for that. We just got to take a look at this because that's major news, guys, with Joker. So I'm going to jump around for a second here. Let's look at Blue Redacted here. Wow. Okay. They are all over the place. They can't make up their fucking minds. That news dropped. Spread dropped 3 points immediately. I'm gonna drink some water. Let's take that news in. This game's next on the docket, but let's just look at this. Samaje Perine to the Tampa Bay Bucks, huh? He got big money. 3 years, $22 million. Look at this guy. Why does he want to do fake news? Why does John like to fake news, you guys? I don't know. Ask yourself that. Luka today. 49.5 PRA. 57 fantasy points. 57. Like, no, I don't need to sell you guys on Luka being a top 3 pick. Brooklyn, though. I don't have any Brooklyn Nets in my ranks, folks. 23.5 for D'Lo, 25.5 for Cam Johnson, 21.5. These are all PRA figures for Nick Claxton. Keon, 17.5. Zaire, 17.5. Don't have to talk about Brooklyn. We're not drafting them. Do you want to do D'Lo revenge game? Go ahead. He could pop off. I'm good. We're good. All right. Nuggets, Thunder, guys. Let's look at the Nuggets. Q tag on Jokic. Q tag on Jamal. Out tag on Aaron Gordon. This could be big time Russ game. No pun intended for my big time Rush fans. Where are we putting Russ? I just want to get him in my line of sight right here. Okay. Might need to be a little bit higher in my line of sight. There we go. Yeah, this is tricky, man. The spread dropped significantly. It's kind of, oh damn, dude. Justin Fields to the Jets. 2 years, 40 mil, 30 mil guaranteed. Good for Justin fucking Fields, man. Good for Justin Fields. I'm happy for him. Very happy for him. I'm sad for my Steelers, but I'm happy for Justin Fields. Yep, Aaron Rodgers in black and gold is written in the fucking stars. I'm well aware. All right, Thunder side. Thunder are going to go nuts here. 10-point favorites, 235 total. I think Redacted Duel got a little excited with that 12-point spread. At this point, I think the spread has moved to the point where they were projecting Chet out and Chet in. Moved is what is setting the current number. Let's get Chet a little more aggressively ranked here, just to keep him higher in my line of sight. That hurts the J-Dub outlook for me. It does hurt the J-Dub outlook for me. The ceiling, I think, is less likely to be hit now for J-Dub. Now, where would I have him is the question. Well, first off, let me make some adjustments here to my ranks. I think where I have him is fine. Behind Hero, behind Hallie, definitely behind John Morant. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Not gonna be a strong J-Dub day for me. It was earlier. I was liking J-Dub earlier. Now not so much. All right, yeah. I mean, the bottom line for the Nuggets Thunder is we need to learn a lot more news about the Nuggets injuries. That said, I think Joker plays. Western PA probably loves Aaron Rodgers. They don't. He probably aligns with a lot of their philosophical views or fundamental views, whatever the hell you want to call them. But they don't like Aaron Rodgers. I promise. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Pacers, Bulls. Pacers are 6-point favorites here against the Bulls in Chicago. 240 total. Let's look here just real quick at who is on the back-to-back. The Nets are on a front end back-to-back. The Wizards are on a front end. Pacers are on a front end, as astutely noted by, I forget who pointed that out, but thank you to whoever pointed that out. Potentially could see Hallie rest and then play at home against Milwaukee. Celtics are on a front end back-to-back. They play at home against the Thunder tomorrow. That is definitely giving Tatum sits. Hawks front end, but they play the Hornets tomorrow. Raptors front end. Did I go too far? I did go too far. That's 2 games. Sorry, everybody. I went too far. Yep. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, it clearly states that this is a game that's being played on Wednesday. Run good Rick saying, Western Conference standing so close, I feel like they're more incentivized to play. They should be. I mean, you really can't give up too many freebies in the Western Conference unless you are the Oklahoma City Thunder, in which case you can. All right, Bulls, Pacers, Chicago. Vooch has a Q tag, but he said he's going to play. This might even be an active tag. Zach Collins, you're done. Kobe White is in the full court press player pool. Should have been higher earlier. For me, it's just Giddey here, man. For our intents and purposes, I only care about Josh Giddey. That's it. That's all I care about. Is his ADP good? That's the question. Is his ADP good? I think his ADP would be good if Vooch was out, but Vooch isn't out. But he is playing the Pacers. My gut tells me that I should have Bane over Giddey today. But Giddey has been so goddamn good lately. Does Vooch coming back off of a multi-game absence really affect Giddey to the point that, I can just ignore what he's been up to? I'm not sure. Last time he played Indiana, I think he had a little bit of foul trouble here. 18, 9, and 7. No stocks. He's usually good for at least 1 or 2. I'm gonna rock with this. We're gonna keep it right here. But let's give Bam a little bit of love. We're gonna just need to do a couple drafts together once we're done and just kind of get an idea of where things are at now that people have projections uploaded and whatnot. How much does Vooch hurt Giddey's rebounding? I don't know an exact number or an exact figure. I don't really rock with the percentage rates and whatnot. I'm sure it'd be good to have those numbers, but I think it almost certainly hurts it somewhat. I'm with you, Tuna. 14-15 feels fine for Giddey, but I think people really like ADP. Let's look at the Pacers. Hallie, 24.2 ADP. I have been drafting Hallie, but now that I'm, I admittedly was not super woke to the front end back-to-back there, just because it was worth taking the risk, in my opinion, given the swap options. Definitely a little more worried about Hallie. Hallie's available at ADP, sometimes past ADP quite a bit. So let's go ahead and just give Hallie a little bit of let's just chill on Hallie a little bit here. Siakam I really like. With or without Hallie, I like Siakam today. And I like Miles Turner today too, man. I think Miles Turner should be mixed in the 6th. Anytime Miles Turner's not 100% drafted, we like him. The Najee Marshall run has been insane. It has been, man. It has been. We're going to get to that game in a minute. Crazy. Yeah, this is all I care about for the Pacers. Magic and Rockets. Houston without my guy Amen Thompson for at least 2 weeks. He was on a walking boot. He was in a walking boot. Feel bad for him, man. Feel bad for him. He was balling out. He was balling out like crazy. But this does, I think, affect Şengün in a way that is positive for his fantasy outlook. And I think it affects Jalen Green positively for his fantasy outlook as well. Potentially Tari Eason being positively affected by this. But maybe not here against the Magic with the 212 total. We're seeing teams and players hit ceilings against the Orlando Magic. Like, we don't need to be fearful, in my opinion, of Orlando Magic games very much, especially when we have a team like Houston who's concentrated. Houston's pretty concentrated. They don't really go too deep into their bench. Austin, he says. Houston. Şengün. I like Şengün at ADP quite a bit. Jalen Green, I just have peeking around, but he hasn't had great games lately against really strong teams, or really strong matchups, that is. Jalen Green really needs like everything to go his way, and I don't think the Magic are a team, even without Amen, are that type of matchup. Tari Eason, I'm keeping my ear to the streets on Tari Eason, but probably not getting there. But I do think that without Amen, Tari Eason becomes a very, very strong play. Magic. Paulo ADP of 11. Little steep, but we've seen Paulo have very strong games. And I don't think the Rockets are a terrible spot necessarily. Without Amen, it probably helps them as well. It's been a minute since we've seen Franz put up a strong performance, but his ADP is 23. So I think it makes Franz a pretty good pick today at ADP. I think Franz still has ceilings in his range of outcomes. We just haven't seen them lately. Franz seems like a good pick at 23, man. I think he's live to have some of the most minutes on the slate. And you never know how things can break for the Magic where, oh, it's Franz night all of a sudden. Dare I say he's due? I think Franz is a very fine pick at ADP. Projects for around 40 fantasy points like everybody else today. Mix them in. All right, we're done with that game. We got to move on. My throat's getting scratchy and dry. I'm not used to talking this much, you guys. I need some tea or something. Next game. This is easily the game of the night. Is Suns versus Grizz. 244 total. 4-point favorites are the Memphis Grizzlies here. Grizzlies have been without Jaren Jackson Jr. They are without Santi Aldama today. He missed last game. He's missing today as well. Desmond Bane has been otherworldly without JJJ. How long has JJJ been out, by the way? 3 games now. You know what's so funny? What's just like hilarious? I think I had like 1,000,000% Bane in this OKC spot, and then he bricks, and then then he does that. Ja Morant. Wasn't sure if he was going to play today. There's some quotes about him complaining about his shoulder, but he is playing. And JJJ being out and Santi Aldama being out. And Kennard, I believe, is out as well today. Yeah. I mean, what? This doesn't... You guys are all smart. The minutes open up, and when we finally get rid of these deep-ass rotations for Memphis, we see massive games for Ja and Bane. And whoever gets the minute, him or JJJ, if JJJ is playing, but obviously he's not. I just think Bane and Ja are great picks today. It's that simple. And unfortunately, I'm going to play the ADP game with these guys. I am not putting Ja. I don't think I am. Not putting Ja ahead of Bane. But I like Ja more than all these fucking guys here, dude. ADP 20, I don't give a shit. I want as much Ja Morant as I can possibly tolerate. And I think that number today is 50%, given the fact that it's ADP 20. I can't see why I wouldn't want a ton of Ja Morant today. Ja Morant looks incredible today. I mean, it's that simple. Ja Morant looks really, really, really good comparative to his ADP. And just in a vacuum, dude. 40 PRA for Ja Morant. 40 PRA for Ja Morant. The fantasy point projection is 46, and he's ADP 20. I don't know, man. I'm baffled. 37.5 PRA for KD. KD looks awesome today. His fantasy point projection, it was up. I don't know what happened to it. Interesting. Everybody in this game looks good. 40 for Book. I mean, Book, KD, Ja, Bane, all look awesome today. I want as much as these guys as I can possibly fit into my exposures. Rankings wise, KD, I have had KD over Tatum for most of the day, and I think I might continue that, but maybe just so I don't end up with like no Tatum, mess with Tatum rank. Just really like KD in that spot, man. Putting Book over Giddey, I don't fucking care, man. This is what I would do if I was believing in something. I would have Book over Giddey. These other Suns, aka just Bradley Beal here, he's in my full court press ranks, but that's it. Should be a fun game for those four, the big four, though. Bucks just announced they did not sign Samaje Perine. Oops. Who the fuck reported that? That's embarrassing. Mavs Spurs, the Battle of Texas here. 230 total. Kind of surprising that it's this high. 7-point spread. Favorite toward the Spurs. Let's take a look at the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox, man, has just been ass lately. I don't really want anything to do with De'Aaron Fox today. Personally, not really. Late Q tag on Castle, or just normal Q tag, but it came in on the back-to-back. I like Devin, man. I like Vassell quite a bit. I'm actually going to give him a little boosty boost right around here. Let's put Vooch up there just so I can see him. If Castle doesn't play, I'm pretty interested in Vassell. Fox, like I said, man, has just been so bad lately. God, he's been terrible. His PRA across the board is like 34.5, though. Like, the ADP is fine. I think I'm being a little disrespectful with where I have him. Let's just like keep him in mind, because that was not in kept in mind range where I had him. I had a full fade on De'Aaron Fox. I don't think he's worth a full fade. I mean, I guess. I mean, the match, like, I don't know, man. I don't think these are egregious matchups for Fox. I just think that he's just been pretty bad, and the team itself is pretty bad. Mavericks here. The Mavericks, guys, if Brandon Williams doesn't play, are running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. And I don't think Brandon Williams plays. So I think they're running 8 guys here. So you're getting God mode Najee Marshall, all you can handle. I mean, Klay Thompson is going to play 30 minutes. I'm not drafting Klay Thompson, but he's going to play as much as he can handle. Max Christie playing 30-some minutes, but we don't care about Max Christie. This is just, yeah. Najee Marshall day, though. 24 ADP, and you can't hate it. You can't hate it. Let's see what Najee Marshall looks like. Is he available on Underdog? I saw 34.5 too. I was trying to get it pulled up. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. I didn't see it on Unabated either. Okay, it's back. They must have been down for a minute. 34.5 PRA for Najee Marshall. Almost 40 fantasy points. He's killing it, man. He's killing it. I rock with Najee Marshall against the Spurs, dude. I'm going to be taking him. Pretty easy game to talk about. I'm done with it. I'm just done with that game. Two more to go. We're doing great. Almost at an hour. Portland against Golden State. Ayton is out. Robert Williams has a Q tag. It really doesn't matter because we're not really doing a lot with Klingon. Klingon has just been so ass. It's been pretty frustrating, but he's been ass. I had Simons in my player pool just so I didn't lose sight of him. Portland, 12-point dogs in Golden State, man. I don't really have a whole lot of interest for anybody other than maybe Anthony Simons. Shaden Sharp let me down even with the Denny sitting yesterday because Jeremy Grant decided to make it rain from 3. 6 3-pointers for Jeremy Grant yesterday. What the fuck? Where'd that come from? Not a whole lot to care about here, man. Simons, maybe in the 6th round, but like that's it. The slate is too deep to give a shit about the Trailblazers. Warriors, no Pajemski, still no Kuminga, Curry, Butler. Butler. Who calls Jimmy Butler? Curry, Jimmy, Draymond, all draftable. Draymond, man, Draymond's been balling. He's been balling, man. It is what it is. Can he get clicked in the 6th round today? I don't really think so, but Jimmy can. Jimmy for sure can. With no pods here, yeah, Jimmy's gonna have to play a lot. Decent spot for Jimmy. I don't think Bradley Beal is out. Tuna, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean. Knicks and Kings, because we can already move on. Knicks and Kings here. 3-point favorites are the Kings in Sacramento. Sacramento just played a back-to-back. They just played overtime, but they're going to play a lot anyways. Oh, Beal out? Did I miss that? My fault. Where did I miss that? Yeah, he is out. I got lost in my shuffle. My fault, Tuna. Yeah, I still like those guys quite a bit. The boost's already on. I mean, draft them. they were good picks before Beal got ruled out. They're still good picks. Knicks and Kings. The Knicks I like today are Towns and Hart. OG for the full court press only, but you never know when OG is going to drop 50 on my head and ruin my entire slate. Maybe the entire week for me, like he did against Miami. Loved that. I think Josh Hart's pretty undervalued, man. Not going to lie. Against the Kings with no Brunson, he just played 45 minutes against the Clips. I think you can see a massive workload for Josh Hart today. I like him. I like him a good bit. I like him a good bit here. Now, I say that, but do I still have Hero over him? I still like Hero over him, but I don't know that I like Josh Ball over him. Josh Ball. LaMelo Ball. Man, today's tricky. And I need to get Scotty Barnes moved down, man. I'm scared. I'm so scared of Scotty Barnes, dude. Cat with no Brunson here. Only 41 fantasy points against the Clippers. That really let me down big time. I was hoping for a better game from Towns. Hoping for a better game from Towns here. I'm taking Towns 4. I'm not taking any Pritchard right now. I'll swap to Pritchard if he becomes viable. Not taking Pritchard at the moment at all. But we'll keep my eye out, ear to the streets, etc. Things like that. I just don't think you're going to see 60 fucking fantasy points out of Pritchard. And this is just me venting because the last time I didn't take Peyton Pritchard as a swap, he had the best game of his life. Just been that kind of 2 weeks. Little testy over here. You just got to wait and see. I just don't think that Pritchard's somebody that I'm just going to wait and see. Is Travis Kelce gonna bully? What's the third Kelce brother? Jonas Kelce. He might. The big three for the Kings because no Sabonis. But we have Monk with the Q tag, guys. Monk with the Q tag is interesting. If he plays, I think it does hurt DeRozan. I mean, we've been loving DeRozan here. He's been going crazy the last 3 games. If Monk plays, I think you have to dock them a little bit. But I think Joval is I've taken Joval in the 6th. I think he's a pretty good pick in the 6th round. Just a nice way to kind of mix up and get low ownership on Joval, and I think it's going to be a pretty good fantasy game for him. Max game stack, I would still do 4 players in one game. That's it. No more. That's probably the max I would do on any slate. But if I like the players at cost, I'm not really concerned. Okay. Samaje Perine signs a 2-year, $4 million deal with the Bengals. Where the fuck did 3 years and $22 million come from? Who reported that for Samaje? That was the craziest thing I've ever heard. Snap fill. Who do we got? Bam True made it to the Dog Bowl. Chris, DJ Flam, DJ Flam. You did not need me to hawk after that. I apologize to the audio listeners. Just Brett, what up, Just Brett? And Snow 1021. All right, guys. Getting hit with the 101 with a Joker Q tag. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Let me see how much Joker I have so far. This will influence my decision. 52 drafts done for the Monday Night Hoops. 9 Joker shares. Let's just take Joker 101 and look like alphas. But I am curious if you guys have done drafts where you've seen Joker go. You got some autos going. This is one of them. I don't see you in there. I don't see you. A whole lot of auto drafters. Jokic, SGA, Luka, top 3. Curry at 4 is spicy. Cat 5, Şengün, KD at 6-7. Tatum, Bam, Trae Young, Desmond Bane. And I would probably go Devin Booker, Ja Morant here. But I think getting ahead of Jaylen Brown could be fun. But knowing Tatum, he'll play. Let's do Booker for sure. And we'll do Ja Morant. Fuck it. But I am worried about not getting ahead of the Jaylen Brown stuff. Really worried about not getting ahead of Jaylen Brown. My dog's in the corner with me. He hangs out with me while I do streams. Just licking this shit out of himself. Disgusting. No manners. This draft is flying. Miles Bridges goes ADP 14. I tell you what, guys, if Miles Bridges beats me again at ADP 14, I'm done. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'm sick of this shit. By ADP, Franz and Siakam. Yeah, I think I am a little worried about the Hallie stuff. Let's just do one team because I have a ton of Hallie, man. Let's do one team with Franz and Siakam. We'll take Siakam against the Hallie fade. I think that makes sense. Miles Bridges ADP 14 on a 12-game slate, dude. Like, I have principles. And it's strictly regarding Underdog, not even outside of just him as a human being. I can't do Miles Bridges at 14 on a 12-game slate. I'm sorry. I have respect for myself. Hopefully Siakam figures out point differential given his performance this weekend. What happened? What happened there? I think I missed something. Look at Just Brett saying, give me Tatum and Derek White. All right, dude. Go off, King. Chris takes Holmgren. Bam True takes DeRozan. My team is Joker, Booker, Morant, Wagner, Siakam. Whole lot of verbs here. Let's finish with Jordan Poole. Joker, Booker, Ja, Wagner, Siakam, Jordan Poole. I like it. Other picks available here at pick 36 in this draft. Dyson Daniels undrafted. Joe Val undrafted. Levine, IQ undrafted. Miles Turner, Draymond, Simons, Jamal Murray undrafted. Vooch, Vassell, Vassell. I should learn how to properly say that. A pretty strong list of undrafted players here. Where did Fox go? Fox went to Just Brett. Let's do another one. Let's try something. Let's just try something here. Another 101. Come on, dude. T. Diddy is high as fuck on Kessler today. Well, if Tatum sits, probably good for Kessler for rebounding purposes and for that game being somewhat close. Maybe I will need to give some further consideration to Walker Kessler. I took Jordan Poole with the last pick. Let's see how these Underdog Fantasy point projections have changed. Somebody called it out. Yes, I do copy in the pick'em lobbies the fantasy point projections from Underdog, and then I put them in Claude, and Claude ranks them for me. We're going Joker. All right. Let's see here. Trae Young, ADP 5, stands out. Ja, rank 7 out of 46, but that's like significant. And then you have from pick 8, or player 8, KD, 45, down to J-Dub at 14, 43, two pick difference, two fantasy point projection difference. Where do things really start to fall off? Like right around like DeMar. DeMar looks like player 28 today. Fox looks like player 27. RJ 26. There could be some omissions here, so take that with a grain of salt. They've got a lot. There's normally not 53 players with fantasy point projections on Underdog pick'em lobbies. Interesting. Joker, SGA, Luca, Cat, KD, Tatum is the first round here. JT McKenzie just giving this clock all it can handle. Curry 7, Şengün 8. We're gonna give the ranks one more touch up before we head out. Giddey 9, Bam 10. These guys love average draft position. Trae Young, Bam, and Desmond Bane for me. We'll keep it going. We'll let this room know that, hey, we respect ADP as well. Scotty Barnes, Devin Booker, Ja Morant. There's a reach. Jaylen Brown. And now we wait for JT McKenzie. JT McKenzie's going to make us wait. All right, let's touch up these ranks. I'm just going to leave this here until I see a lobby where I don't get the 101 and see where things end up. What do we think here? What do we think about the top 5? Because I think I'm going to execute a Tatum fade. I think I'm just going to fade Tatum. I do like KD. Let's see here. This feels fine. Let's get Booker up here and Giddey, since I don't really need to reach for Ja. Ja's been falling, man. Like, pick 16. The winning lineup will have Ja Morant. There it is. There's my call. Najee Marshall. Let's get Najee Marshall in here. And then let's do Austin Reeves as well. Austin Reeves against the Nets without LeBron James. Let's see a big game. Let's see a big game from Austin Reeves, shall we? All right, back to these ranks. We're gonna. So the beginning of what these ranks looked like were really like my gut takes, and now we're gonna give ADP some respect. Give ADP the respect it deserves. Let's see here. This feels fine. Let's put Hallie over Siakam. Let's actually put Najee Marshall over Hallie. Put Franz up here. Give Franz some love. Put Fox above DeRozan. Give Fox some love, even though I don't want to. And then I have a pretty strong Jimmy Butler fade. Let's play Jimmy in. Let's put Onyeka up here. Okay. Let's see how that works. Last pick in this draft. Dyson Daniels, Joe Val, Levine, IQ. Could do Chet. Let's do Chet. Do we get Chet? Do we get it in? Drum roll. We got Chet in. All right, cool. There's a Chet share. That's fun. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Can you do one more so you see not in the 101? All right. All right, last one. You don't normally hear people say, I hope I don't get the 101. If I roll the one, okay, there we go. Perfect. This is exactly what I've been waiting for. 103. I might get Joker again, but it's okay. At least I got him from 3 this time. You can't even see it. There we go. Because I want to know what people are up to, man. I want to see what people are doing. Only 4 drafts for T. Diddy. You got this, man. You got this. All it takes is one. Can change your whole fortune. Man, it's just now hitting me that Justin Fields, not a Steeler. It's a bummer. We'll make a pick 'em before we head out. All right. SGA 2 or 1, Jokic 2. Okay. I can vibe with that. It might age horribly, but I don't think it's that much of a projection difference. SGA's killing. This dude's first draft he ever hit was a heat check. Wow. Could you imagine? That would hit like crack. I don't know how you can like go back to regular drafting after winning a heat check. It's been a while since we had a heat check. Maybe that would go over well one of these days. I never played those too heavily because the thought of coming in second in a heat check would probably feel worse than winning it would feel good. Desmond Bain, pick 8 to my guy JP, who usually hangs out here. Bam, Trey. I think I'm gonna do Trey Young. I know I've got ranks in here and everything. I've been respecting Bam in other rooms. Let's get a little Trey Young here. Miles Bridges at pick 12. Like, oh my God. Oh, he's going to murder me today, isn't he? Let's do Jaylen Brown here. This is going to be a weird one. Let's do Jaylen Brown and play Tatum sits. Jimmy, what happened to Justin Fields? He's a New York Jet. What lower do we like for a pick'em? Let's look. OG Kush Sage says Trey's a bad pick. They might blow them out, or we won't have to try hard to win. Didn't think about that. Josh Hart picked 21. Scotty Barnes picked 20. Devin Booker picked 17 is egregious. But that's what happens when I'm playing Jaylen Brown is the alpha. We're going to go hero here. Nice little hero fall. Pick 22. Wagner goes 23 to Ben Roethlisberger, the real Ben Roethlisberger. I'm aware the Sixers are in full tank mode, buddy. The Hawks are in win mode. Okongwu, Reeves, RJ. It could be Okongwu and Trey going after it. I don't have a lot of Jimmy Butler though, so let's do Jimmy here. This is like a full-on get different team from me. It's pretty hard to decipher through this ADP today, man. I mean, I think it's incredibly bad. Just straight up, I just think ADP is very, very bad today. But that hasn't mattered all week. It just hasn't mattered. There's Jordan Poole, pick 32, 33 goes Chet Holmgren. That leaves us with RJ. I do like RJ here. RJ, DeRozan. DeRozan feels safer because RJ has the tank possibility. Let's do DeRozan. All right. There it is. Final draft. Luka, Trae Young, Jaylen Brown, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan. All right, let's get a pick 'em up. Jalen Williams. I think I like a lower on Jalen Williams if Chet Holmgren's going to play. Usually he's more like a 29 guy when they're fully healthy. I don't think this moved down enough given Chet Holmgren playing. This is how we're starting off. Starting off with a lot of fun. We're hating over here. Let's fact check the Jalen Williams stuff here. Yeah, that looks to be a decent number for us. All right. Let's see what else we can do here. Let's look at fantasy points. Let's hit Jaylen Brown fantasy points and play because he can hit this even with Tatum in. But let's just play Tatum out, and then we'll go Jaylen Brown lights it up. And honestly, do I like? No, we'll stick with PRA for J-Dub because he might go stock crazy. I'm looking at this Mark Williams number. 32.85 for Mark Williams. Last time out against Minnesota when he played, he only played 24 minutes. Now he's up against Miami. I would probably take a lower on that. De'Aaron Fox. Let's go lower on De'Aaron Fox, PRA. Max Christie, 28 fantasy points. He has not hit that in the last 5 games, but I do think that he would hit that tonight. I'm not playing that, but I think that's a pretty interesting hire, considering what they need from him, which is a lot. Let's do Klay Thompson higher for points. He's going to have to score tonight. And now I need a fifth. I need a fifth play on this one, and then we will send it in. I can't help it. Let's look at something crazy. No. We'll dial it back. I think KD fantasy points feels good. 43.85. That feels great. 20x on this one, guys. Lower Jalen Williams, 33.5 PRA. Jaylen Brown higher, 40.75 fantasy points. De'Aaron Fox lower, 34.5 PRA. Klay Thompson higher, 18.5 points. Kevin Durant higher, 43.85 fantasy points. I'm not showing the pick'em screen. Thank you, Matt Murphy. Everybody was just vibing with me. Well, there's the link in the chat if you guys want to play along. It's right here. All right, guys, good stuff. Tomorrow, off and on the clock, with Pete and John, my good friends, we're going to be talking about the Dog Bowl. Wasn't there? Going to be asking questions. How was it? Who'd you meet? What kind of funny stories took place? What was Gilbert Arenas like? What was Swaggy P like? All this and more tomorrow on Off and on the Clock. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Good luck in the NBA streets today. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you're a member, shout out to the members. I did drop some dinger ranks for our members. It's in the YouTube app. If you go to like subscriptions, you should be able to find it. And if you should see it on our channel somewhere as well. If you go to posts, it's just a link to a Google Sheet if you are into that. So trying to help out people. It's mostly a way to not auto draft Garrett Cole, George Kirby, and Grayson Rodriguez. Copper, can you auto off them? I know you're curious. No, but you can take Kodai Senga this year. And I recommend you take Kodai Senga this year. Having trouble seeing the pick'em when you click the link. Well, here it is one more time. Kevin Durant, 43 fantasy points higher. Jaylen Brown higher fantasy points. Klay Thompson higher points. De'Aaron Fox lower PRA. J-Dub lower PRA. You guys have a good one. Good luck. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow. Off and on the clock. Good luck.